Everybody, it's Gadget Trish or GT, and I thought I would share with you bags you may want to avoid or buy from the Jackson family collection. Now, if you're anything like me, I love bags, whether they're from the Jacksons or not, but sometimes you can get a little carried away. This is just some of my collection I'm showing you now, but learn from my mistakes because you know, when you buy stuff, you got to think about how much it costs and where you're going to store it. And most important, are you actually going to utilize it? So let's get into some of the bags to absolutely avoid. Starting with number one, the bag that was in the introduction of this video. Now, this was my favorite travel bag of all times and still started cracking. It started flaking all over my clothes. I was just like, hello? This came from eBay. I believe it came from China. And it's basically a piece of crap. I got the book bag. It's even worse. I also got my girl's bag. It sucks even more. This one, it looked like, look at this. Like, look at this. It's pilling. The buckle fell off. Hello? Now, the only one that's decent is this one because I never used it. But then it comes to show this is a good example of how you waste money. I've had this bag for years and never used it once. And the only bag that looks like it's going to make it for the long haul is this one because it's made from a different material. But I would still avoid this. Another bag you might want to avoid also comes from China/eBay. This looks like it's beautiful when you see it on camera, but what you can't see is how this coloring, it has this weird bubble thing going on. It looks like someone peed in it because it's that kind of, it's like a pissy yellow. And then I think someone just put a Michael Jackson picture in and just put some cheap plastic, and it just has this weird crunchy thing. It's just crunchy. Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear this? I hate this bag. Don't buy it. And by the way, these are like $30 to $40. Keep your money. Now let's get into the bags you might want to purchase. This one is from the estate. It's a Thriller bag. And you guys know I love the Thriller era. And if you don't know, make sure you watch my MJ fan tag. Thriller! Billie Jean! Who's bad? And my favorite from this collection is actually this one. And what makes it my favorite, it's not even an era, but I really wear a lot of black and gold things at Michael Jackson party because I like to wear a lot of black. Buy a bag that you could see yourself wearing a lot so you can really get your money's worth. Bags from this collection are going to run you anywhere from $40 to up to $100. I believe I paid on average $50 for these bags. I only used this one though. So I wasted pretty much $150 because it's one of those things like I don't use the other ones. Now my absolute favorite bags to get are tote bags. Why? They get really nice and compact. You can fold them away, put them in your dresser. This one's actually issued from the estate. This one I got from a vendor, but again, it's that good material. Anything with the Jackson brothers is a must-have for me. However, Randy's missing. I need one with Randy, then I could just sell this one away. I also wanted to highlight this one because if you do store it away, it starts to stick and then your bag gets really damaged. So this one you have to store like maybe a white cloth. The cloth will keep this sticking from itself. And if I had to have a hard conversation with myself and say, Trisha, what are your absolute favorite bags? I always use this one whenever I meet the Jackson brothers. I got this from the Unity tour. It's perfect. It's actually a good size too. The one I got from Janet, size-wise, material-wise, it's killer. If this came in black with a zipper, I probably would use this every single day. I got this from the Janet Jackson website. I'm sure it's gone because it's from the 2008 era, but it's definitely one of the best bags I have ever purchased. And the one I use the most is actually this one. It's black. I love how it glitters. It's huge. I use it to travel. I use it for work. I use it for groceries. I use it pretty much for everything. And it gets really nice and compact. The only thing is it's not from the estate. It's also coming apart. So I'm probably going to go to the cleaners and have them resew it. But this was probably the best $20 I've ever spent in my life. But I've never saw the vendor again. I got this years ago, but I love it. And if you don't have a Jackson family bag or a Michael Jackson bag, if you have any keychains, just get your favorite bag, put it on a keychain. It's not in your face, but at least it's like you don't have to spend any more money, especially if you're like me and you literally have a keychain laying around. Or have you ever had, like, received a keychain from somebody and you're like, oh, what do I do with that? You could also put like buttons, like this is a button I've actually designed. If you have any patches, you could have the cleaners like put the patches on for you and have a customized bag. I personally like thought how wasteful I was when I realized I had 33 bags averaging $30. Like, that's a lot of money. And if I can go back in time, I would have just got this bag, this bag, this one, and this one, and that's it. That's the only 4 bags I would have had if I can go back in time. I probably will sell the majority of my collection that I'm not using. The ones that are like falling apart, then clearly I'm going to throw them in the garbage. And I hope never to make this mistake again, because people think that being into minimalism means that you're just going to have a blank wall and nothing on it. As you can see, there's nothing minimalist looking about my background. I'm just pretty much keeping the stuff that I enjoy, and the stuff that I'm not utilizing, especially like if it's worth money, just let it go. It's not a big deal to let things go that you're not using. Like, think about that. Especially if you're in debt, you can use that money to get yourself out of debt. So that's something I want you guys to think about when you're collecting things. Like, put a lot of thought into it. Like, that's the one thing I wish I did. Like, I know when Michael Jackson passed away, I brought everything I could find from Michael Jackson and his family. And it was definitely a bit much. Because now that I'm trying to, like, go through everything and find a way to let it, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot of it was in storage. Just, what? We'll get more into this in other minimalist series, but I hope you guys enjoyed this post. Don't forget to sub, like, and share. If you have a bunch of bags, are you going to keep them? Are you going to let them go? Do you use them? Something to think about. I want to see some comments, some thumbs up, and of course, sub. And until my next post, Gadget Trish is out. Bye. Bags from this collection average about $40. Oh no, Michael.